Hello everybody, good day. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about different styles of homeschooling. Many people are unaware that there are different types of homeschooling methods. Most people think there's only one kind of homeschooler, but that could not be further from the truth. When parents choose to homeschool, they do a lot of research as to what is expected of them and what their local laws are, and then they start to decide the method that fits them and their children, as well as what they expect to achieve by homeschooling their precious children. Of course, there's many ways to homeschool our children, and most people are not aware of the many ways, so I'm going to go over 7 styles of homeschooling that I am acquainted with, so people can be informed of their options. The sky is the limit when it comes to homeschooling our children. There are so many doors open to you. You can choose a method that will best fit you and your child. There are endless resources available to you that will help you along the way. In this video, I'm going to go over some of the resources that you have available to you when you decide to homeschool, but there are many, many more. I am currently doing a homeschool resource series. You can check that out if you're interested in finding out about different resources that are available to help you with your homeschooling. So let's get into the video. Here are 7 styles of homeschooling. Number 1, a very structured environment, keeping public school hours Monday to Friday, 8 hours a day. You are following boxed curriculum for learning all subjects. This style is referred to as school at home. You usually do up a schedule and you follow that schedule, and you have by box curriculum and you follow that box curriculum. On the main resources, many homeschoolers use the box curriculum, which has workbooks for each subject. There are 10 workbooks per subject. So usually when you buy box curriculum, it's for five subjects, and each 5 subjects has 10 workbooks. So that's a total of 50 workbooks. You complete these over the full year, and each box curriculum package comes with a teacher's guide to help you with the curriculum, quizzes, and tests. Box curriculum is really great for a lot of parents and kids. I did a video showing box curriculum I have used in the past. If you are interested in learning more about box curriculum, I'm going to leave a link in the description of this video, of me going over the box curriculum that I used, and that is what a typical package looks like. There are other brands and companies out there that make box curriculum. The one I used to use is Bible based. So check that link out if you need to know what I mean when I say box curriculum and what I'm referring to. Number 2, using online or box curriculum for all subjects with structured school times that work best for the parents. There are many different programs you can use for online resources, including apps for all different grade levels and subjects. I'm going to show you an example of an online option through the same company that I got the box curriculum from. There are many different companies that offer online learning. With online curriculum, you would have your child or children sit down at a computer every day of the school week for whatever hours you schedule based on your daily routine to complete their daily schoolwork. Option 2 is similar to option 1. The difference is you can use online learning or box curriculum, and the hours are more flexible. It's whatever works best for you and your family. Say online works better for you, where you have a program teaching your children, and it might help if you have multiple children and you feel like it's too much to focus on each one and teach each one the subjects. So you use online resources to help you teach them. And instead of doing regular school hours, maybe it works better if you start your school day after lunch, because you typically have very busy mornings. So that's the difference between option 1 and option 2, is the hours that you may choose to do school time and the online option. Option number 1 and 2 are very structured types of homeschooling. So if you're a very structured person and you like a strict schedule and you like a strict type of curriculum to follow, these options are a good choice for you. Now, style number 3 is box curriculum for core subjects. That would be like English, math, science, social studies, some online resources to fill in needed areas, planned field trips, and emphasis on arts and literature, as well as classes on life skills. With this option, you use both box curriculum and online resources to meet your goals for the year, as well as you plan field trips and extra classes of art and literature. You will also plan classes going over the many different life skills your child will need to know by the time they become an adult and move out on their own. Option number 4, child-led learning with a semi-structured schedule using box curriculum going over core subjects, with an emphasis on field trips and practical skills as well as the arts. With this option, you use box curriculum for learning core subjects. You may pick through the books, focusing on certain lessons and skipping others, as well as some child-led learning, where you will spend a day exploring a subject your child has questions about, such as how machines work, or maybe they've asked you a question like why animals will sleep during the day and are awake all night. So you might plan a lesson on that, teaching them all about the animals that are nocturnal. You also will plan field trips and classes to teach life skills such as sewing and culinary arts. So I mentioned life skills in option 3 as well. These are the type of life skills that you're going to teach your children. Sewing, culinary arts, maybe how to do their taxes, how to do a budget, how to clean their house, how to do laundry, all of these things that they're going to need to know. How to put together a resume, how to put together a cover letter. These are examples of life skills that are important that you need to teach your children so that they can function properly when they move out on their own, so they can take care of themselves. Option number 5, child-led learning of all core subjects and subjects of interest, with semi-structured learning for reading, writing, and math. With this option, you will do Classes teaching reading, writing, and math on a regular basis, as well as allowing your child to lead on all core subjects with what is interesting to them at the time and all the questions that they have. Many parents choose to do this child-led learning because children instinctively love to learn and have so many questions. So parents just go off that. Every child is different. So maybe your child is interested in different things at different times than other children. If your child loves space, they will be full of questions and wonder about that subject. So you would do lesson plans off of the space theme. If your child loves robots, you will teach them about mechanics and circuits and all that fun stuff. Your children's interests and hobbies are always changing, so they are constantly learning new things. So you would just teach them things that they have interests in at the time. As they grow older, your interests mature and you want to know about different things. When you're little, you're interested in fun. So you can make learning math really fun by just sitting down and playing with Lego with your child and getting them to add and subtract and multiply while you're playing. You can get blocks and teach your children colors. As they get older, you can find new and fun ways to teach your children. If my kids are constantly coming to me asking me questions, so I will take the time to sit down and explain to them the answers to their questions, or we will go to the bookshelf and we will pick out a book that will answer their question, or we will go to the computer and we will look up a video on YouTube about the topic that they're asking me about. Now, my son absolutely loves learning about history, about war. He's 10 years old and he's so interested in learning about war. He knows the names of different wars that happened in the past, the World War I and World War II, Vietnam, all kinds of wars that have happened. And he watches YouTube videos about all of these different types of wars. He's interested in what happened, who won, who was in charge at the time of the wars. He's interested in the weapons that they had, tanks, all of that stuff. So I gave him the resources so that he can learn about this topic that he loves to learn about. It is teaching him about history. It is teaching him about war. It is, I believe, going to benefit him later on. You never know, he might become a history teacher, or he might decide to join the army. You don't know. All you can do is give your child the resources to learn about what they find interesting. He also loves to learn about mechanics. He says he wants to become an engineer, and I think that is a very good career to go after. So I give him resources to learn about that. I have a daughter who loves art and drawing, so I've given her resources to draw. I've given her a wonderful calligraphy set, color pencils, books that will teach you how to draw. I've given her the resource to be able to look up videos where she can watch other people paint and draw and learn tips and tricks on how to perfect your drawing. This is what child-led learning is all about. Your child has an interest in something, so you give them the resources to learn about that subject. Number 6, non-structured learning with some emphasis on math, reading, and writing, as well as learning life skills. With this option, you will be learning as you live your life doing your daily routine. You would read to your child a lot so they pick up on reading, plus while they are listening to you read, they will be learning and their imagination will wander, picturing the story in their minds as you read to them. They will learn as you answer questions they ask you throughout the day, as well as activities you do together like baking cookies, nature walks through the trails in the woods, playing sports in the park near your house. You will also buy learning resources to have your child do worksheets practicing reading, writing, and math with books like like I'm going to show you right here. There are so many different types of resources out there where you can get just simple curriculum books to go over math, reading, and writing. You can find them on Amazon, you can find them at your local Walmart, you can find them at Staples, you can find them at Costco, you can find them even at your grocery store usually. I find them all the time at Superstore. Option number 7, completely child-led, non-structured learning, free learning on all subjects including core subjects. This style is often referred to as unschooling. So many people think that when somebody says unschooling, the child isn't learning at all, that the parents just letting their kid go all day, they're not teaching them at all, and that's the furthest from the truth. Unschooling is where you still are learning every day, but you are letting your child guide the learning with subjects they are interested in and also with questions they have. The previous couple examples, number 5 and 6 of child-led learning, there was child-led learning where they led on their interests for each subject, but there was still some structure because the parent, mom or dad, was doing classes of reading, writing, and math with them using workbooks. They were making sure that they go over each of these subjects throughout the school day. With this number 7, it's completely child-led, no structure at all, which means that you're going to let the child decide on what subjects they are interested in and also with questions they have. So maybe your kid is good at math and has an interest in math. Maybe they have an interest in English. I believe that math and English a child will learn no matter what, just through daily living. Reading, because usually parents read stories to their child all the time. Children want to learn to read so that they can play games with their friends, and they want to do video games. They want to read books. Children have an interest in that stuff, so they will learn to read on their own time. Math is a daily thing. You can simply teach basic math with giving them the ability to purchase things at the store. They will pick up on basic math pretty quickly when you hand them a $10 bill and they go and they want to buy a few things, and so they're trying to add it up in their head so that they can pick up as much as possible. Or maybe they will learn when they take a few things up to the cashier, and the cashier tells them the total is more than they have in their hand. They will learn that money doesn't go as far as they think. Children learn through daily living. So unschooling is not your children just don't learn. That's not possible. Children learn. every day through everything they do. One day, your child may be asking about space, so you will spend all day learning about the solar system, maybe do a project like making a diagram of the solar system or painting a picture of space together. Another day, they're interested on how magnets work, so you do some research together learning about magnets and do a science experiment with some magnets you have, trying different things to see how they work. Maybe you want to do an experiment, what will a magnet pick up, and lay a few objects down. Get them to do a chart of their hypothesis on what the magnet will do to if it will pick up that item or not, and then try to pick up the magnet or the item with the magnet, and get them to write down the conclusion of what happens when they tried to pick up the magnet or the object with the magnet. These are things you can do when you're unschooling. It's all child-led. One day, they might ask about bugs, so you go out in the yard with some books about bugs, and you read and you study about the bugs you see. Really, the sky's the limit. I've done that with my kids. We've grabbed a few books, we've gone outside, and we've done some learning about nature, about everything that's around us. The insects we see in the yard, the trees we see, the birds we see, the fruit we see, because we have a couple fruit trees in our yard, and we've studied the life cycle of the fruit trees in our yard, and we've observed the different stages that the tree goes through. These are things you can do, and things that the kids are interested in because they see them, so they have questions about it. Sky is the limit with what you can learn that day, and your kid loves it and is so interested because you're teaching them about subjects they have questions about and what they're interested in. Reading can be done easily by reading a book every day with them, getting them to follow along, and slowly have them take over the reading. Before you know it, they're reading the book to you. That is a brief description of the 7 main styles of homeschooling. Some families may need a more structured learning schedule and system, whereas other families will need a more free and flexible style of learning. None of these styles are wrong, and all homeschooling moms want the best for their child or children. Maybe you use one style for one child and another style for another. It depends on what works best for your family and that child. Not all children learn the same and at the same pace. That is one of the many bonuses to homeschooling. You keep at the pace that is right for your child. So many children get left behind in public school on a subject because the teacher moves on to stay on schedule and a student didn't completely understand. A public school teacher cannot tend to every child's pace of when they have a class of 20 to 30 students. It's impossible. Mentally and physically, it's impossible. So there's very structured homeschooling, and there's very free and relaxed style of homeschooling, and there's everything in between. Some parents may focus more on one core subject than another, depending on their child's strengths and weaknesses. I have transitioned through the years from one style to another. Things change. Your child may have different needs from one year to the next. Or one style wasn't working for your child, so you try another to see if that works better for your child. I don't look at homeschooling the same as I did when I started, and I've changed my homeschooling style many times. You will make mistakes. You will get overwhelmed. You will have days where you are wondering if you're doing a good enough job. You will have days where you are wondering if you are good enough. I am here to tell you, yes, you are. You can do this. It is normal to have days where you were overwhelmed, tired, or stressed out. It will happen. We have all been there. And if someone tells you they have never felt like that, they are a liar. As a parent, no one will love your child more than you. No one wants them to succeed in life more than you. That makes us right for the job of raising, teaching them, and preparing them for life when they move out on their own. I'm going to put a link in the description of this video of a video I did going over an article that a public school teacher wrote. It is comparing public school to homeschooling. And she is a public school teacher and she homeschooled her own kids. If you are interested in that story and you want to know why a public school teacher homeschooled her own kids, go check that video out. The link's in the description. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like, and if you have any comments or questions, leave them down below. I'd love to hear from you, and hit that subscribe button if you haven't subscribed yet. Have a great day.